Oh, Brad, I was gonna let you sign us in. Are you still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. I was gonna let you sign us in. I always sign in for the other show. You have the better voice.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What's the name of the show? The Breakdown?
The breakdown. He's so ready for this thing. He's so ready.
Dude, I almost got killed today. All right, okay. Let me bring it in. Let me bring it in. All right. Here we go.
It's still live. You don't have to wait, man. You can just go.
My says starting soon. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brad Thomas and Brian versus the books for the breakdown. First, I want to thank OddsShopper, Sleeper Picks. The promo code, it's going to be on the graphic that Mr. Straight is going to show, and all the links are in the description. You might say the boys jumped into the show and they're a little discombobulated. Mind you, I almost didn't make it to this show. So, Brian, I don't know if I fully told this story, but I had a show earlier this morning, and then I was trying to rush to go to the Orlando Magic playoffs, like little event, to go get my merch for the playoff game that I'm going to. I hop on my scooter, strap in my helmet. I get there, literally get there like 5 minutes afterwards. And I go, hey, am I too late? They go, we already packed up. It's like, whatever, I'll just go to the next one. So I get on my scooter, scoot back home. I get to the intersection. I have the freaking white walk sign. I'm going through with my scooter. Red car comes speeding in. I halt the brakes. We brake right in front of each other. Almost smashes me because he was texting and driving. My heart was pounding. I had to come home. All this happened within the last hour, so I'm a little discombobulated. But
that. So this show is sponsored by Safe Driving. We're gonna do
I'm
that.
alive, bro, and we're talking about the playoffs. What did you want to start with?
I was gonna say we almost had a Kelly Oubre situation there with Brad. Yeah, he almost
Dude.
had that hit by a car. Yeah, I guess. Do you want to just start right away with reactions from last night? I mean, 2 games. I guess the last 2 nights because
Yeah,
we've had 4 playing games so far. Some were really good. Some were really disappointing. And it actually worked out that both early games were nice, and then the late games you get to go to bed early because they're both blowouts. I think what you can tell is in the playoffs, defense matters. I mean, look at the Warriors allowing 120 to the Kings, and then last night the Bulls put up 130. If you're going to win in this league, you have to get stops. And the Lakers Pelicans game, Heat Sixers, all very low scoring, like competitive games. So I think we said it earlier that a team like the Hawks are plus like 60,000 to make a run for the finals. And there was a big reason for that. And you kind of saw that where, I don't even know if I believe in the Bulls too much, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But just overall, what was your biggest takeaway from like any of these 4 games that started?
Yeah, it was funny because after the Lakers game, I was like, man, experience is really going to win out. And then I went and bet on Golden State, and they
Oh,
were flat and bad. But honestly, I think that each team that has that veteran, real veteran leader, like the Lakers are fortunate to have 2 of them against a team that really didn't have any. And then we flash forward to the 76ers willing themselves to victory after being behind. And then we go to Vooch, who and DeRozan, who looked like they could actually be competitive for once in their entire eternity on this team.
and Kobe White, 42.
Kobe White. Well, I was just talking about like the guys who I felt like had that
Oh, I'm
leadership
just saying,
presence.
like, he was fun to watch as well. That team was interesting to see actually perform well.
I fell asleep during that game too. Like I think the game started at 10, I think. I fell asleep at like 11:15 maybe.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this one's done and dusted.
Yeah. There was no point in that game where I really thought the Hawks had, some fight. I think at half the spread was like 5.5. I didn't bet it, but I kind of was in that point where I was like, I don't want to have action in this game, but that 5.5 just seemed like it was for the Bulls, and they faded so fast.
Didn't Trey Young have like 5 turnovers by halfway through the second quarter?
Yeah, I mean he couldn't function. I think he ended the game with like 7, but I think he
It
had
was
5 right
6.
away. Yeah.
I'm trying to pull it up. I love this NBA stats, but of course it's not working. Do they not have it loaded? Normally you could see like every turnover. So I was gonna try to see when he had them by, but
Yeah, I think they were early.
did um did any team like in the play-in so far look like a team that could make a legitimate run to you?
No, and it's sad to say because obviously I'm rooting for my team that's in there because your team hasn't played yet, but it's weird. I hated everything I saw by the Sixers, but at the same time, I think let me pull the exact number. I think it was what? Yeah, 16 turnovers. there was just times where I feel like if that team just held the ball for more than 3 seconds, they looked so good early, and they just kept, you know, I think it was a big thing with Batum. He came out in the end, he was great, but these inbounds, they had the in the first half, the Heat had 8 points off stolen inbound passes.
Yeah.
So that's the only comforting thing I think about the Sixers is that if they just realize they don't have to go, the years before, it's, "Oh, Joel's being tripled at the elbow, but he's Joel Embiid, we have nobody else. We gotta force it to him." Second half, fourth quarter, they started being like, "Oh shit, let's get the ball to Maxey. Let's play a dribble drive with Kelly Oubre. Let's move the ball around." So if they
Yeah.
start playing like that, and they don't get in that classic Doc Rivers force it to the elbow and see what happens. They looked a lot better. But yeah, other than that, it was kind of you know I hate everything I saw from that team, but I also liked a lot what I saw. So it's hard to kind of judge how I feel about that team right now.
Yeah, look, I agree with, what's the motto? Plans are fun for random juice on a Tuesday, but they're gonna get first rounded. I feel like almost every single one of these teams is in really big trouble, like, um, should we just segue into some bets? I think that's a pretty good segue.
Yeah, I mean, we can get right into it. I mean, I know I have the series prices here. I know the Sixers are slight favorites over the Knicks, which is interesting. I think the Cavs are minus 200 over your Magic, and it's pretty much a pick 'em for the Bucks, Pacers, and I think Giannis is expected to miss the first 2 games, but I also think that's just, the Bucks knowing it's serious and they're trying to play that chess game because I don't know if he's gonna be able to play at all in that series.
I don't either. I think for that series specifically, I would wanna bet Pacers to start the series, and I would probably put, like, 2 units on it. Let's see the Bucks, if they go down 1 or 2, try to play the other side for a half a unit. You might be able to get a little bit of action where, not play the other side, play the spread, excuse me. Might get a little, middle opportunity there if it works out your way.
No, yeah, especially because you don't know how Giannis is gonna feel. I actually, like I was saying yesterday, it was nice to see the Sixers come back and take the game and actually come up clutch when it mattered, especially when there was that away from the play foul with Batum with, like, 10 seconds left. It was a one-point game, but that last 3 like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't take it away, but those last 4 points were kind of shallow in terms of
Yeah.
it wasn't like the Sixers survived a missed layup that would have lost it. I like once there was like 30 seconds left, it was kind of in hand. So that
100% in hand.
yeah,
Like, those shots were only to kill the spread in the under. Like, if you
yeah.
had, 76ers -4, if you got it early, um, or you
Or
had the
had the
under
under,
or the
yeah,
over, you were
208. It was
under, you
208.
were yeah.
So, and my point, I bring that in because my segue with that is the Sixers are minus 125 to win the series. I actually was going to bet the Sixers because I thought they'd be like the other way around. I thought it'd be
Yeah.
I thought they'd be plus 120, not minus 120. So it kind of is a little bit annoying that it's a lot less tempting to play them when you have to pay juice, even though I think they should be favored. It's I'm not gonna be able to lay the juice on that, even though I think it goes probably 7, and the exact score for 7 is plus 230, so they also kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with the, I don't know if I agree. Like, I agree with your earlier statement where I would take whichever team's the dog
Yeah,
in that
they kinda
situation.
made it they kinda made it hard where the Sixers are favored, but you don't get any juice with the Knicks. You get plus
Yep.
100, you get 1 to 1, so they make it kinda hard to bet. I just think you talk about you need, veterans and people to make big plays. We saw it with Nick Nurse with the Raptors, where if you have a top player, they just send 5 guys at you and they make anyone else make a play. And the Knicks, I just don't know who's that second guy if, DiVincenzo is not on or, really just those are the 2 guys that are gonna put up points. So if you take away one player, I just think there's it's so tough for them to kind of fill that void. I like to make fun of Julius Randle, but without him and without some of the other guys, you have to fill a lot of points on the board for a team that doesn't score much to begin with.
Yep. No, agreed. Um, can we talk about some of these? Have you looked at all at the series player props?
Yeah, I was looking at a lot. So, like, is it DraftKings that has them the most, right? They
Yeah.
usually they have, like, the points average and all that good stuff.
Dude, I like these leader props. I don't normally bet -200s like that, but for assist leaders, Jokic in the series over LeBron, Murray, Russell, and Reeves,
Yeah.
like, that feels like, a bet that I'm really confident in.
No, I agree with that. I mean, even, yeah, there's some good ones. because I think Jokic is the series leader for the Nuggets, and I don't think there's any value in plus 100. I think there's some other guys that score.
Yeah, no, the points leaders was weird too. Um, but I just don't know who I would take. LeBron, I guess.
Yeah, probably 330. The rebound leader for the I'm just kind of jumping all over the board to see because I have some
Yeah,
written downs. Even, I know it's hard to lay, but is there any value do you think in yeah, you can parlay them. So,
parlay them.
yeah, my question is
Oh,
someone like Rudy Gobert is the leading rebounder for minus 400. Like, who else is gonna out-rebound Rudy Gobert in that series
oh my God, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna parlay Rudy Gobert and Jokic.
for rebounds?
Rebounds, Rudy Gobert, and assists for Jokic.
It's minus 115. I
Dude,
mean,
that's thanks for telling me you could parlay these.
well, that's what I was saying is last year, that's what I did. For the Nets Sixers series, Joel Embiid was minus 270, and I parlayed it with, like, almost everything, and not always the best practice, but I kept doing that on the show where I was going, "Who is going to out-rebound Joel Embiid in this series? Nicholas Claxton doesn't see enough minutes." Like, so sometimes you can kind of be that stupid better, where it feels
Yeah.
like you're being too simple, but, yeah, who's gonna out-rebound Rudy Gobert? It's minus 400, but is Cat even healthy enough? Who
Or
else?
like the points leader for the Cavaliers, unless Donovan Mitchell gets hurt,
Yeah.
because like Bankero and Wagner are gonna be sharing a lot.
So
Yeah,
to kind
it's
of shout
just
out to kind of shout out Brad last week, he had an awesome first round leader with Bryson DeChambeau, and we cashed that out pretty easily.
that
Is
was
this
nice.
our this show? One unit on it, minus 115.
Yeah, it's gonna be our live build, 1 unit, minus 115. Yeah,
I
last
just
week was nice, man, with Bryson DeChambeau because, he
so
had the
hard.
lead early, and I was like, "This sucks. He's not
Yeah,
gonna keep it," and then he balled to close it out, and then Scotty gave us a little scare, but Scotty needed to go birdie, birdie, birdie to
yeah,
cash to not for us to not win, and he went birdie, birdie, par.
yeah.
So, we got a little juice from that.
I'll say this: I know a guy like Bryson. We're not gonna get too into it. Like he came out hot, and then he just couldn't figure out those greens at all.
Yeah,
He kept driving the ball, 400 yards in a par five, 86 yards from the pin, and then ending up parring it. Just stuff you can't do. But I
yeah,
did have him top five at like crazy odds, and I knew it was gonna slip, and he just kept slipping. And I was just hoping he would be able to, if he just shaved off one stroke on day 4, he would have been fine and been in that top 5 finish, but he
yeah,
just
that's brutal.
he couldn't get it. So it was kinda sad to watch that slow fade, knowing I had this, 16 to 1 ticket for top 5, and just watching him lead and then slowly drop, and slowly drop. So it was, overall, it was really fun to watch that whole thing, but yeah, it was definitely sad to watch him drop out of there.
Yeah, it was. Can I tell you about a series price that I'm really liking? I did the
Go for
spread.
it.
I took the Denver Nuggets, minus 1.5 against the Lakers at minus 150. I know there's better prices out there, guys, but by the time I got around to this one, I only had access to this book. You can find some minus 140s out in the market. That's fine. I would play it up to minus 170. I almost was willing to weigh minus 200 on offshore, but I put it out on legal. The Lakers just don't match up well with the Nuggets, and then the Lakers would have to win a game on the road, and I don't see them winning in Denver. Like, what the Lakers did to, the Pelicans was great, right? But let's
Yeah.
be serious. The Pelicans' best 2 players didn't even factor into outside of, Zion, obviously, didn't even factor into the result. CJ McCollum was iced on the game. He was
And
sitting on the
Zion got
bench.
hurt. I know it was, late, but he got hurt in the final 2 minutes, so they didn't even have the 40-point score to close out
Exactly.
a game that was a one-point game. Yeah.
BI was on the bench too.
Yeah, so it's I'm with you there. I mean, I think we're always gonna find this with the Lakers. They're always gonna get priced. And like I said, you can say this without having egg on your face if you're wrong, because I just think if you look at these 2 teams, the Lakers just get a lot more credit than they should sometimes in these series prices or any price because they are the Lakers. Even if they win, I still would agree that they're mispriced in this.
Yeah. Do you have any that you locked in, or do you want me to go to another one that I already like?
Yeah, you can go to another one because I have some let me pull up my notes. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah, I'll go to my next one. I went T-Wolves,
yeah, I
plus
knew you were gonna talk about that one.
Yeah, I went T-Wolves plus, I think, it was 110. Um, what have the Suns done for us to say that they deserve to be the favorite in this series? If we look at from, a defensive standpoint, they're going against the best defensively rated team, in the NBA, where we have the Phoenix Suns are not terrible, right? But they're pretty bad compared to all the teams in the West in the playoffs. From an offensive rating, the Suns are even lower offensive rating than they are, against Minnesota. Minnesota's gonna have home court advantage. Yes, sure, playoff experience with Kevin Durant is going to be a big thing, but we have to, like, just think if the Suns win, they're not gonna win it in 6, right? Like,
Yeah.
they're gonna probably have to win this in game 7. So why not take this and then see what the Suns money line price is gonna be in game 7 and see if you wanna get out of it. See if you say, like, you put $100 on this, then the Suns money line price is plus 180, then you put 0.25 unit, I mean, 0.75 units or zero point 0.6 units on the plus 180, and then you're guaranteed profit regardless of whoever wins.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think you have 2 spots that I like, which is attacking 2 teams that get a lot of respect because of the names,
Yeah.
LeBron and the Lakers, KD and Book and the Suns. But the Suns do this every year sometimes where usually they're so hot in the regular season and then they kinda fade. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do the reverse because this year they didn't even look to put together in the regular season. I mean, they were well, they were a few missed baskets away from being in the play-in. So I think it's
Yeah.
definitely take the plus money there for a team that even if Cat's not fully healthy, they just I think have a deeper like bag to go to.
Yeah. I think that, this team is just blessed. Ant's playing great, Gobert's playing great defense, and then they have Cat who, if he can get back to the full health, he's gonna be an absolute problem. But, before we get into more picks, let's send us a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with you guys. Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the GoldBoys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the GoldBoys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks. And would you look at that? We're back, and Scotty Scheffler's back to missing 3-foot putts. For anybody who's in the goldboys.com Discord chat, we are sweating out Scotty Scheffler 5+ birdies. He's sitting at 2 birdies on the front 9. That birdie from 5 feet was for him to get the 3, but it's okay. We can see 3 on the back 9. Brian, give me another bet, man. I know you have something in these playoffs that you want to talk about.
I was gonna say this is the most interesting series I have in this entire thing listed is the Clippers and Mavericks because the Mavericks are minus 145. Is Kawhi fully good? Like, I don't like how do you read that? Because that's another series where I know it's hard to say because the Mavericks have such a bad experience with this Clippers team. But once again, I would have bet the Mavs if they weren't minus 150. I think I,
Yeah, I agree. I would have probably bet the Mavs if they're like minus 110 to minus 120.
if it
When
was
I
a
went
pick,
to go look at that
I would have a
series,
Mavs
Brian,
ticket right now, and I hate to say it because I've been a big, not hater, but a big doubter of how the Mavs play with the Luka iso ball. But
yeah,
I just don't know if the Clippers, like I don't know, the Clippers are another team we talked about with Will and our old show. They get so much respect on these prices, and I mean
they really do.
it's because they have
And
all those rings over the last 5 years that they've been running through.
they just like are the most unhealthy team in the NBA always. Like, excuse me, consistently unhealthy.
Yeah, no, and I agree. So I actually didn't end up betting that series, but I did take a prop for game one,
All right, hit
which
me.
I don't know about you. Like I said, we talk about sometimes the playoffs, you can be a little bit of a what seems like a public better because it just you look at it, you're like, how is this even possible? Like I locked in Luka Doncic over 8.5 rebounds for game one.
I like
I
that.
just don't understand why it's the playoffs. He actually has hit this in 27 of his last 30 where he's played like that 33-minute range. He's gonna play what, 36, 38,
Yeah.
40 minutes a game. I mean, I just don't see, in this second half of the season, once they got Gafford and they have the better spacing, he's just been a rebound machine. I mean, asking for 9 is just one of those things where, yeah, the playoffs get more intense, but it doesn't change the fact that people miss shots, and there's going to be a lot more, even though it's slower pace. I have him at projected for 11. I was debating a double double, but it was like minus 120 because you get the assist as well. But it was minus 220. So I did lock in 8.5. I just think he's getting too many rebound chances and he's too aggressive on the boards right now. And he seems so motivated that I was surprised that this was playable at 8.5.
I like that. I think I looked at it earlier on my end and it was 9.5. And I was like, I might as well just freaking play his triple double.
Yeah. Triple double, I think was plus 350 last I checked.
I took a player prop as well. I took Kevin Durant over 23.5 points. I don't know if that line's still available, but it was available this morning. I just think that Kevin Durant's usage is just going to be so high. He's actually shooting the ball really well since this like their run to not be in the freaking play-in tournament. I took him a couple times on the live line where it was the Booker show early in the game, and Kevin Durant still would hit the 25 plus points.
Yeah. I'm answering some of the chat with the MLB.
You're good. You're good. Let's see if I have any more.
We actually always have to chat up, so we're not,
I s
we don't always avoid it.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
many
for sure.
not many MLB games today, which is why we're focusing on the NBA because it's just kind of a gross slate, especially when there's no games to watch for, the NBA side of things.
Yeah. I stayed away from the Magic series, not maybe because it's like I want the Magic to win, but I also don't wanna, like, lose money. I mean, I don't wanna, like, them to lose and then I lose
Yeah.
money as well. So,
Yeah, and I think that's a series where I don't think the Magic should be plus 170, but I also don't wanna back them at plus 170, so it's there's too much health concerns with Spider that I'm not sure exactly how to handle that. Oh, also DraftKings, I'm looking at their series prices. Sixers are minus 115, Knicks are minus 105. So DraftKings is even giving you plus money on either team. So they're kind of making it more of a pick 'em. So they are making some. Oh, actually, Mavericks are minus 125 on DraftKings. Sorry to be
oh,
jumping all
wow.
over the place, but I'm
That's okay.
I'm comparing prices right now and I'm shopping around. So at minus 125 on the Mavericks, I might put something on that because I do think even if Kawhi is 80%, the Mavericks are just playing kind of really nice basketball right now.
No, that's good. That's cool to me. Any game we didn't touch on? I think we touched on them all. Okay, let me ask you, predictions, Bulls Heat, and then give me Kings Pelicans.
Yeah, you think the Bulls? You think,
No, no, I want your prediction, and I'll give you mine.
dude? I don't think the Bulls are a good team. I talked about beforehand. I feel like so you're going. You didn't answer who you were picking yet, right? You're just
Not
asking
yet.
me. I think it's the Heat, and I'll go Kings because I just don't know how the Pelicans will play without Zion. I just feel
Yeah.
like they don't. It's weird because the Kings last year made such a good run, and this year they're same team for the most part. But yeah, I just think they play too fast for the Pelicans. I don't think the Pelicans are good enough defensively, 1 through 5, to be able to handle that pace.
Yeah, I went with Heat Kings and pretty much the same reasons,
It would be a lot.
without Zion. Like, I felt like they were almost to a point where they were crutched so much on Zion, the second when he went out, they were like, "Shit, what are we gonna do?" You know?
Yeah, no, I mean Zion. Like I said, Zion scored 40, and all of a sudden that's 40 points you don't have. Not saying he's always going to score 40, but he took over that game, and they don't have that at all now.
Yeah. Well, listen, that was fun. I think we could wrap it with there, but before we wrap, I want to invite everyone watching the stream, smash the like button, ring the bell, and comment on on your favorite bet for the NBA. And then make sure you check out the show today. The show today, Ryan and Brian at 5 p.m. and Lock the Books. And tomorrow we will have a new episode of me, Sam, and Betting the Pitch's new podcast called The Final Third. And we'll be dropping daily MLB and soccer content in the channel. Let me just give you a quick recap of my bets that I officially have in, and then you can do yours and sign us out. So I took the Minnesota Timberwolves to win the series against the Suns. I took the Denver Nuggets -1.5 on the series spread. I took Kevin Durant over 23.5 points. And I took a parlay of Gobert to lead the series in rebounds and Jokic to lead his series in assists.
Yeah, and like we kind of talked about, I have a lot of things I talked about on the stream. Didn't lock in as much as Brad because I just think some of these prices are very annoying. But we did take the Gobert rebound and Jokic assist. I'm going to add some on the Mavericks. I also took Luka rebounds in the first game, and we like Brad kind of mentioned, we're going to sign out here, but there's a lot of things coming up with the Gold Boys Network. We always appreciate Odd Shopper and Sleeper Picks. Make sure you guys check us out. And I think that was a good show. Second show, we kept it nice and short.